So for today, I'd like to share my memories on how it all came to fruition, and also to give thanks to Carl and Betty Lang, who spent many hours assembling a lot of the historical records. So let's begin. As I reflect upon the events of the past 60 years, the word faith has been a consistent theme. As Jesus stated in Matthew 17:20, "If you have faith like a mustard seed, nothing will be impossible." As the genesis of our church was being contemplated, we had no land, no church structure, and limited financial resources. But faith that the Lord was guiding us to start a new church in Northwest Calgary. My journey and connection to Brentview Church goes back to 1960, when I moved to Calgary and attended the Bridgeland Baptist Church. In 1960, the city of Calgary was experiencing growth pains, and so was the Bridgeland Church. The church was starting to prepare for their 50th anniversary and also started discussions about relocating to a new district because the present church building was too small, and also street parking was becoming a real problem. Thus in 1960, the Bridgeland Church asked the God's volunteers from our Edmonton NAB campus to come to Calgary and canvass the Triwood communities of Collingwood, Charleswood, and Brentwood. They found a fairly positive response from the residents for starting a new church in the area. Also in 1960, the new Calgary University campus opened with two new buildings, the Arts Building and the Science Building. At the same time, the McMahon Football Stadium just opened. The Bridgeland Church took a vote, and about half of the membership voted to start a new church, and the decision was made to locate to the Triwood area of Calgary. From then on, things moved very quickly, and with the assistance from our NAB, we purchased 3 lots across the street from the Brentwood Shopping Centre, and 1 lot for the parsonage, which was just behind our future church building. As a church, we started from very humble beginnings. Even though we had no physical structure at that time, we started advertising our proposed new church by organizing teams that canvassed the entire Triwood area. Our first actual meetings were in March 1962, which were held in the basement of Otto and Luella Radke. For the first meeting, we had 11 people in attendance, 9 from Bridgeland and 2 from the community, who were Flora and Nona Anderson. Then we moved to Banff Trail School, and with the help of people from Bridgeland, we started a Sunday school program. Shortly thereafter, we moved to Senator Patrick Burns School. By now, many of the people who had committed to become members of our new church participated in our programs. In early 1962, our church became a formal entity, and construction of a multi-purpose gymnasium and educational wing was started. It should be noted that the leadership of the NAB was upset that we would build a gym rather than the traditional type chapel. In hindsight, I believe it was one of the best decisions in that we could now use the gym as a sanctuary on Sundays and also use it for recreational purposes during the week. By summer, we were able to move into our partially completed gymnasium and educational wing with a membership of 59 charter members. In those early days, finance was always a concern. Most of our membership had regular jobs with average salaries. We did not have any so-called sugar daddies, apart from the NAB to bail us out. But with good planning and lots of volunteer help, things got done. An example of just how tight the money was, in 1963, after 1 year of operation in our new building, we had a total budget of $20,000 for the entire year. I also remember one member writing a check for $10, and the check bounced. Many years later, he still laughed about that embarrassing experience. I have countless favorite memories of those early days. With a partially completed building, we had the audacity to advertise a week-long daily vacation Bible school in August. And just under 200 children showed up for the week. God's grace was evident, and that everything went well, except that we did lose one student for a period of time who had wandered over to the shopping center. Another matter that stands out in my memory is the growth of our church through individuals accepting Christ as their Savior and being baptized. Fiona and Nona Anderson, who had attended our very first meeting in March 1962, also were the first fruits of our ministry and were baptized in May of 1963. Throughout the church ministry, the church grew rapidly in membership, with people accepting Christ as their Savior and then being baptized. It was not unusual to have 20 or more baptisms in a year, and in some years we had as many as 37. What a blessing it was to see the church grow and flourish. As the first Sunday school superintendent and also the first church moderator, I had to attend many meetings, but to the best of my recollection, the word failure never became part of our discussions. And by God's grace, we not only survived, but also flourished in becoming one of the model churches in our ABA. As our membership grew, some members from the church branched out to start two new churches, namely Hawkwood and Country Hills, which now is Rock Point. I truly believe that as we look into the future of Brentview Church, we will continue to be a beacon of light where individuals will come to accept Jesus as their personal Savior and lives will be changed. May we always hold true to the gospel as presented in the Bible. Blessings to everyone.